substances. It controls the movement of substances such as pathogens into and out of the cell.
I'll give you 2 out of 3. Okay, so what kind of answers was I looking out for? So the first one is it helps it to withstand turgor pressure. Okay, so turgor pressure is a force exerted against the wall as the contents of the cell push the plasma membrane against the cell wall. Okay, it's not that close to the shape that you were talking about. You could have done a better job. That's why I didn't give you anything. All right. Regulate growth. The cell wall sends signals for the cell to enter the cell cycle in order to divide and grow. Did you know this? Isn't that interesting? Yes, then it also helps to regulate diffusion. The cell wall is porous, allowing some substances, including proteins, to pass into the cell while keeping other substances out. It's not without resistance as all substances. The way you presented it was not complete, but it's along these lines. That's why I gave you 2. All right. Then communication. The cells communicate with one another via plasmodesmata, that's pores or channels between plant cell walls that allow molecules and communication signals to pass between the individual plant cells. And then protection. This is the one you were trying to tell me, but not completely. So the cell wall provides a barrier to protect against plant viruses and other pathogens. It also helps to prevent water loss. I'm lumping all of that together, okay? And then for storage, the cell wall stores carbohydrates for use in plant growth, especially in seeds. A lot to learn. All right. Next set, 10 seconds each, and I have a preamble to all schools. Please listen to this preamble carefully. Use the kinetic theory of gases to explain the following experimental observations. What this means is that when I get to you, I will give you an experimental observation. Please use the kinetic theory of gases to explain the experimental observation I give you. All right. So let's start with you, Swedru. For a given gas at constant temperature and volume, the pressure increases when the molar quantity of the gas increases. Yes, Kafui.
Okay, using the kinetic theory of gases, as the molar quantity increases, it means the number of molecules are increasing, and hence the number of collision between the molecules will increase. And an increase in the collision will result in an increased pressure, and so the pressure will increase. And also, the increase in the number of molecules will also result in a shorter distance between molecules and the container, the containing vessel. So the collisions will be rapid, and hence an increase in collision will increase the pressure.
Okay. Presbyterian boys with the same preamble. For a given amount of gas at a constant volume, the pressure of the gas increases with temperature. Otumfo.
So as the temperature of the gas increases, the average kinetic energy of the gas molecules will also increase, hence an increase in the speed of the gas molecules. And since the pressure depends on the collisions, when the speed increases, the frequency of collisions will also increase, hence leading to an increase in pressure.
2. Okay. Yes, so the postulate of the theory says that the average kinetic energy increases as the gas gets warmer, right? Okay, so the higher the average kinetic energy, the faster the gaseous particles move and collide with the wall of the container. You said that this is done with greater force. That's the part that was missing, right? So with greater force and more frequently. And then that is what causes the increase in pressure, okay? Techiman, with the same preamble. For a given quantity of a gas at constant temperature, the pressure is inversely proportional to the volume. Yes, Samuel.
Okay. At constant temperature, the volume of a given quantity of gas is inversely proportional to the pressure, because as the volume increases at constant temperature, the pressure of the gas decreases because the distance between the molecules of the gas increases, and hence the rate at which the molecules of the gas move to collide with each other and the walls of the containing vessel decreases. This results in a decrease in pressure, since the collision between the molecules of the gas and the containing vessel is what results in the generation of the pressure between the molecules of a gas.
I'm not accepting that. For a bonus, I think you had something confused, right? Okay, so as the volume decreases at constant temperature, distances the gaseous molecules have to travel before colliding with the walls of the container decrease. Hence, the frequency of collisions increases. So, more frequent collisions. You had it the other way around. You had it around, leading to an increase in pressure. Next set, 30 seconds. And I have a preamble to all schools. Preamble. An incompressible fluid of density 800 kilogram per meter cubed flows in a horizontal pipe. The flow is steady and laminar. At a point where the fluid pressure is 120 kilopascal, the fluid speed is 2.00 meters per second. Please, did you get that preamble? Okay, once again. An incompressible fluid of density 800 kilogram per meter cubed flows in a horizontal pipe. The flow is steady and laminar. At a point where the fluid pressure is 120 kilopascal, the fluid speed is 2.00 meter per second. All right. So now, Swedru, find the pressure at a point where the fluid speed is 3.00 meters per second. Yes, Kafui.
We have 270 kilopascal.
That's incorrect for bonus. Yes, which of you? Deborah.
118 kilopascals.
Again.
118
Yes.
kilopascals.
Now your major question with the same preamble. Find the pressure at a point where the fluid speed is 1.00 meter per second. Deborah.
121 kilopascals.
You're right. Techiman with the same preamble. Find the pressure at a point where fluid speed is 4.00 meters per second. Samuel.
240 kilopascal.
Pardon?
240 kilopascal.
That's incorrect. Yes, Deborah.
115 kilopascals.
Yes. Okay, 30 seconds with a preamble to all schools. Preamble. Okay, so the preamble is this. Simplify the complex fraction. So I'm going to give you a complex fraction. I will read the numerator and the denominator, and you are to simplify the complex fraction. All right. So, Swedru, for your complex fraction, in the numerator, I have x over y minus 1 minus 6y over x. And then in the denominator, I have x over y plus 4 plus 4y over x. Yes, Kafui.
Okay, we have an expression with the numerator x squared minus 6y squared minus xy, and then the denominator x squared plus 4xy plus 4y squared.
Who was ringing when I had not decided? It was you. So what should I do? Okay, so I'm giving you a stern warning. Okay? Next time you do it, I'll start deductions. Go ahead.
We have a fraction with numerator x minus 3y and denominator x plus 2y.
Yes. With the same preamble. Okay, so your complex fraction, in the numerator, this is what I have. 6 over the expression x plus 3, minus 4 over the expression x minus 4, and then in the denominator, I have 2 divided by the expression x minus 4, plus 5 divided by the expression x plus 3. Otumfo.
A fraction with numerator 2x minus 36 and denominator 7x minus 14.
Yes. Techiman with the same preamble, your complex fraction. In the numerator, 4 over the expression x minus 3 plus 3 over the expression x plus 3. And in the denominator, I have 3x divided by the expression x squared minus 9. Yes, Joseph.
We have the fraction with numerator 7x plus 3 and denominator 3x.
You are right. Next set, 10 seconds. And Swedru, what is the main function of the quantified layer of the skin? Yes, Kafui.
Okay, the quantified layer helps to reduce the rate of evaporation from the skin and also prevents the entry of pathogens into the body. It's the first layer which prevents the entry of pathogens. And
Yes. Presbyterian boys, what is meant by vasodilation? Otumfo.
Vasodilation refers to the increase in the diameter of blood vessels, which leads to a reduction in the blood pressure.
Stop. It's fine. Techiman, what is the effect of vasoconstriction on the body? Yes, Samuel.
Okay. Vasoconstriction. Vasoconstriction results in a decrease in the diameter of the blood vessels. And as a result of that, the volume of blood or the quantity of blood which flows through the blood vessels to the surface of the skin is reduced, thereby reducing the rate of heat loss from the skin, and hence maintaining a constant internal temperature of, and also
Finish up.
It also reduces the rate of water loss from the surface of the skin, since the quantity of blood carried to the skin is reduced.
You are making things worse. 2. Okay. So yes, vasoconstriction. I didn't ask you what it was. I asked you for the effect, right? So you could have quickly just told me reduces heat loss from the body. Okay? There are other things it does. The reason why I stopped the Presbyterian boys is because they were saying the opposite thing, which could have been a problem for me. So it also increases vascular resistance. That means your mean arterial pressure will go up if you have vasoconstriction. Okay? And that has other effects, pupil dilation and all sorts of things. Anyway, 10 seconds. Swedru, if phosphorus is the 5th member of the 3rd period of the periodic table, what is its atomic number? Kafui.
its atomic number is 15.
Yes. Presbyterian boys, If calcium, the third member of group 2 of the periodic table, has atomic number 20, what is the atomic number of barium, the fifth member of the same group? Deborah?
56.
Yes. Techiman, if krypton, the last member of period 4, has atomic number 36, what is the atomic number of zinc, a member of the same period? Yes, Samuel?
30.
Yes. Now, gentlemen, let me ask you a question, and this will sort out a discussion we had with our consultant, chemistry consultant. Did you people do the calculations, or you have the periodic table already drawn out and you are picking the answers? It's just for my own benefit. Be honest. Presbyterian boys, what did you do? Periodic table. Thank you. Techiman, periodic table. Swedru, periodic table. So, Professor Meni, where are you? They are not doing your calculations. Next set, 30 seconds. Swedru, when the brakes of a 720 kilogram vehicle moving at 8.00 meters per second are applied, the vehicle stops after traveling 6.00 meters. What is the average net force that stops the vehicle? Kafui.
Okay, we have 6.68 kilonewton.
That's incorrect. Who rang? Okay, Techiman, I will let you answer, but I'm giving you a stern warning. Next time,
960.0 Newton.
pardon?
960.0 Newton.
Goodness. No. The right answer is 3.84. 3.84 kilonewtons. All right. Presbyterian boys, the average net force that stops a 560 kilogram vehicle moving at 2.0 meter per second is 4.0 kilonewton when the brakes are applied. Find the time the vehicle takes to stop after the brakes are applied. Otumfo.
0.28 seconds.
Yes. Techiman, a 640 kilogram vehicle moving at 5.0 meters per second is stopped by an average net force of 2.5 kilonewton when its brakes are applied. Find the distance the vehicle moves before coming to rest. Did they make it? They made it. Okay, go ahead. Did they make it? Go ahead.
3.2 meters.
Yes. "30 seconds with a preamble to all schools. Preamble. Find the values of the constants A and B, given that a particle is in equilibrium under the action of the forces." Did you get the preamble? So I'm going to give you some forces. Find the values of the constants A and B, given that a particle is in equilibrium under the action of the forces that I'm going to give you. All right? Okay. So, Swedru, your forces are 3I plus 5J Newton, negative 7I plus 2J Newton, and AI plus BJ Newton. Yes, Kafui.
A is equal to 4 and B is equal to negative 7.
Yes. Presbyterian boys, with the same preamble, your forces are negative 5I plus 7J Newton, 9I minus 8J Newton, and AI plus BJ Newton. Deborah.
A is equal to negative 4 and B is equal to 1.
Yes. Techiman, with the same preamble, your forces are negative 4I plus 5J Newton, negative 2I minus 8J Newton, and AI plus BJ Newton. Yes, Joseph.
A equals 6 and B equals 3.
Yes. "10 seconds with a preamble to all schools. Preamble. Distinguish between molds and yeasts with respect to the following." Please, did you get your preamble? Again, distinguish between molds and yeasts with respect to the following. All right, so Swedru, sexual spores. Yes, Kafui.
Okay, the sexual spore of the molds is the zygospore, while that of the yeast is the ascospore.
I can't hear.
The sexual spore of the mold is the zygospore, while that of the yeast is the ascospore.
That's incorrect for bonus. Okay. So yeasts do not have sexual spores at all. They don't have. But the molds have sexual spores, and they are the zygospores, ascospores, and so on. So you didn't distinguish between the two. All right. Presbyterian boys, mode of reproduction. Otumfo.
Molds undergo both sexual and asexual reproduction, whereas yeasts undergo only asexual reproduction.
Two out of three. So the most common mode of reproduction in yeast is budding. It is asexual, but I expected you to have been able to tell me that. It's budding. But that of molds is through small spores, as we saw in the first one, right? Through small spores, which can be either sexual or asexual. All right. Techiman appearance. Yes, Samuel?
The yeast is septate. That is, it has cross walls, whereas the mold is non-septate. It has no cross walls. And okay.
I'm not accepting it for a bonus. All right. So yeasts are white and thready, usually oval in shape, but molds have a fuzzy appearance and can be found in several shapes. I hope you see the difference. Okay. Last set of questions for the round, 30 seconds, and I have a preamble to all schools. Preamble. Gaseous butanone will burn in oxygen to give carbon 4 oxide and water vapor. Consider the following bond energies, all in kilojoule per mole. Carbon-carbon single bond, 347. Carbon-hydrogen, single bond, 413. Carbon-oxygen, 300, that's a single bond, 358. Carbon-oxygen, double bond, 805. Oxygen-hydrogen, single bond, 464. And oxygen molecule, 494. Please, shall I repeat the... Okay, once again. Gaseous butanone will burn in oxygen to give carbon 4 oxide and water vapor. Consider the following bond energies, all in kilojoule per mole. Carbon-carbon, single bond, 347. Carbon-hydrogen, single bond, 413. Carbon-oxygen, single bond, 358. Carbon-oxygen, double bond, 805. Oxygen-hydrogen, single bond, 464. Oxygen molecule, 494. All right. So now, Swedru, give a balanced equation for the combustion of 1 mole of 2-butanone and give the type and respective number of bonds to be broken. Yes, Kafui.
Okay, so the balanced equation is C3H8CO. That's 1 mole of butanone plus 5O2 going into 4CO2 plus 3H2O. And the bonds to be broken are, firstly, 5O2O bonds, and then a C to C single bond and a C to O double bond.
That's incorrect. I can't give you. Yes, which of you? Yes, Otumfo.
The balanced reaction is C4H8O plus 11/2O2 reacting to give 4CO2 plus 4H2O. And the bonds broken are 8 of carbon-hydrogen single bonds, 1 of carbon-oxygen double bonds, and 3 of carbon-carbon single bonds.
Unfortunately, this is a bonus. If it were your own question, I would have given you everything, actually. But you forgot about the oxygen molecule. Everything was right, but they forgot about 5.5 moles of oxygen molecule. All right. Now your own question with the same preamble. Calculate the enthalpy change for the formation of the necessary bonds in the combustion of gaseous 2-butanol. Yes, Deborah.
What are we doing? Negative 10.2 kilojoules.
All right. Last question of the round with the same preamble, Techiman. Calculate the energy required to break all the necessary bonds in the combustion of 2-butanol. Yes, Samuel.
39.3 kilojoule per mole.
That's incorrect. For a bonus. Which of you, please? Otumfo.
Positive 7.93 kilojoules.
No, that's incorrect. It's positive 7.87 times 10 to the power 3 kilojoule. And that's the end of the first round. Presbyterian boys. Thank you. If you ring and answer correctly on the first attempt, 3 points. Second attempt, 2 points. Third attempt, 1 point. But be very careful, because if you ring and the answer is incorrect, there is a penalty, 1 point. You can also lose a point by not providing an answer with enough speed. So when you ring, the answer must be ready. Don't tell me we have, Madam, there's no, straight to the point, please, okay? All right, this is a speed race. For questions requiring calculations, you have 30 seconds in which to provide your answer. If there are no calculations, you have 10 seconds in which you can do so. Best wishes, everyone. All right. First question, 30 seconds. A 2.00 decimeter cube flask is filled with argon gas at 27 degrees Celsius until the pressure is 70.0 kilopascal. Calculate the total pressure when 6.40 gram of oxygen gas at 27 degrees Celsius is added to the flask. Ideal gas constant R is 8.31 joule per mole Kelvin, and atomic mass for oxygen is 16.0. All right, which of you, Otumfor?
319 kilopascal.
You're right. Next one, 10 seconds. State the hybridization of the carbon orbitals in the ion. Okay, go ahead, please, Kafui.
sp3 hybridization.
Pardon?
sp3 hybridization.
That's incorrect. In the ion HCO3 minus. Yes, so 2 for.
sp2 hybridization.
Yes. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Which of the following elements has the lowest first ionization energy? Chlorine, phosphorus, and sulfur. Yes, Kafui.
Phosphorus.
That's incorrect. Who rang next? Yes, Techiman.
Sulfur.
Yes. That's a good speed race. Next set, 10 seconds each for all three. After crossing the tricuspid valve, blood passes into which chamber of? Yes, Kafui.
The right ventricle.
Yes. What feature of tracheids of xylem of angiosperms makes them effective water conducting cells? Yes, which of you? Samuel.
The xylem contains xylem vessels, which are narrow and also dead at maturity. They have no living contents to block the obstruction of water flow through the xylem vessels. And also, they have a lumen through which the water flows.
I'm not accepting it. All right. So they have gaps in their primary cell walls that connect to adjacent tracheids. Okay, so gaps. All right, next one. Glucose represses transcription of cellulase genes. What does this statement mean? Okay, what this means is that cellulase genes are not transcribed when glucose is present. Okay, so when you have glucose, the cellulase genes are not transcribed. All right, next set, 30 seconds each. First one. A solenoid of radius 2.0 centimeters and length 0.25 meters has 250 turns of wire. What is the magnitude of the magnetic flux density near the center of the solenoid when the current in the wire is 5.0 amperes? Yes, which of you? Otumfo, go ahead.
6.3 millitesla.
Yes. Okay, next one. Displacement along a certain progressive wave is given by, and I'm going to give you an expression. Please listen carefully. Y as a function of x and t is equal to 5 meters multiplying sine of an expression. That expression has two terms. The first term is 40 pi per meter multiplying x. And the second term, so there's minus, and then the second term comes. The second term is 15 pi per second multiplying t. What is the wavelength of the wave? Yes. Otumfo.
0.05. 0.05 meters.
Yes. Next one. What is the magnitude of the acceleration of the weights in an ideal Atwood machine in which the masses of the weights are 3 kilogram and 7 kilogram? Yes, which of you? Kafui, go ahead.
10 meters per second squared. 10 meters per second
That's
squared.
incorrect. Yes, Deborah.
4 meters per second squared.
Yes. Last set of questions. Last set of questions for the round, 30 seconds each. 30 seconds each. First one. The sides of a right angle triangle are x, 2x minus 1, and 2x plus 1. Please find the value of x. Yes, Deborah.
X is equal to 8.
Yes. Next one. Find the second derivative of y is equal to 2x to the power 4 minus 3x cubed plus 15x. Yes, Kafui. Go.
We have 24x squared minus 18x.
Yes. Last one. Last one for the round. Solve the equation. Log to the base 7 of the expression 3x plus 7 is equal to 2. Yes, Kafui.
14.
Yes. And that's the end of the second round. Before we proceed, I have a correction to make from round 1. Yes. So this was the first chemistry question, the set of chemistry questions from round 1. There was a preamble to all schools. For a given quantity of a gas at constant temperature, the pressure is inversely proportional to the volume. All right. So Techiman gave me an answer involving volume increasing at constant temperature. The answer I was expecting was for volume decreasing at constant temperature, but since the question itself was so general, I have to accept what they were saying. Okay? So this was the answer that I actually was expecting from them, that as volume decreases at constant temperature, distances the gaseous molecules have to travel before colliding with the walls of the container decrease. Hence, the frequency of collisions increases, leading to an increase in pressure. They decided to tell me that as volume increases, then you can imagine what else took place, which was completely opposite to what I was expecting. But since the question was general, we have to accept it. And so we are granting them the 3 points from round 1 for this. Okay. What that means is that I have to announce scores for round 1. At the end of the first round, Techiman Senior High School had 18 points, Swedru Senior High School had 18 points, and Presbyterian Boys Secondary School had 32 points. As we have also completed round 2, here are the scores after the second round. Techiman Senior High School has 19 points. Swedru Senior High School has 24 points. Presbyterian Boys Secondary School has 48 points. Round 3. Round 3 is the problem of the day. At stake in this round is the Prudential Life Insurance NSMQ star. The star is awarded to any school that earns a perfect score of 10 points in the round. At this stage, the Prudential Life Insurance NSMQ star is worth 2,800 Ghana cedis to the team. I hope you are encouraged to work really hard on the problem of the day. Good. All right. So you may now rise, face the audience, and we shall proceed with the problem of the day. The problem of the day is a single question to all 3 schools. From the time I ask you to begin, you will have 4 minutes in which you can present your answer on the monitors provided. As mentioned, the problem of the day is worth 10 points. Now you may turn over your sheets so we can read the problem of the day together. Problem of the day. A refrigerator maintains the interior of an insulated cold box at 1.00 degrees Celsius while rejecting heat to the exterior of the box at an ambient temperature of 30.0 degrees Celsius? A. Determine the greatest value the coefficient of performance of the refrigerator can have. B. If the actual coefficient of performance of the refrigerator is 2.50, determine 1. The work required to extract 100 joules of heat from the interior cold box. And 2. The quantity of heat extracted from the interior of the cold box when the refrigerator does 100 joules of work. Contestants, this is your problem of the day. You may now begin. The contestants have presented their answers. Before I award the points, let's consider the suggested solution from the consultants. This is a problem from physics. So we are told that there's a refrigerator which is maintaining its interior at 1.00 degrees Celsius while rejecting heat to the exterior of the box at an ambient temperature of 30.0 degrees Celsius. The first question was to determine the greatest value of the coefficient of performance of that the refrigerator can have. So how do we go about this? So the coefficients of performance for an ideal refrigerator operating between a hot and cold bath temperatures, let's call 1 TH for the hot, and then TL for low temperature, right? TL. It's given by TL, the low temperature, divided by the difference, so divided by TH minus TL. So for the given parameters that we have, the coefficients of performance is going to be the low temperature, which we need to convert to Kelvin. So we need to convert that to Kelvin, so we'll use 273.15 and then add the 1 to it to get it in Kelvin. As for difference in temperature, whether we operate in Kelvin or in Celsius, the difference is the same. So 30.0 minus 1.00. Okay, so we have this calculation to do, and if you do it correctly, you will wind up with 9.45. Okay. Now mark a location for this. For setting up the equation, that is worth something. For doing the calculation, that's worth 1 point. For doing the calculation, that is worth 2 points. And then for a final correct answer, everything correct about it, significant figures, everything correct about it, 1 more point. No, I think I was given 2 points. No, 1 more point for that to get 4 points total for this. Now, the second part, B. If the actual coefficient of performance of the refrigerator is 2.50, determine 1, the work required to extract 100 joules of heat from the interior cold box. Okay, so now we have a coefficient of performance of 2.50. So the work required to extract 100 joules of heat is given by the heat that is given, 100 joules, divided by the coefficient of performance. And so if you set it up, you get 100 divided by 2.50, and if you do the calculation correctly, you will arrive at 40 joules. That's the beautiful way of presenting it with the right significant figures. Okay, 40 joules. So 2 points for the process, 1 point for the final answer. Then finally, the quantity of heat extracted from the interior of the cold box when the refrigerator does 100 joules of work. And at this stage, we have 2.5 being the coefficients of performance. The heat extracted is 100 joule. The work is 100 joule, and the heat extracted is what we want, and that's given by the work multiplied by the coefficients of performance. And so we have 100 joule multiplied by 2.50 to give 250 joules. Okay. Again, process, 2 points, final answer, 1 point, giving a total of 10 points. What did our contestants do? Let's start with Techiman. Techiman was unable to do the first part. Wrong answer. In fact, I don't understand what they are doing there for the first part. For the second part, they managed to have 100 divided by 2.5, which is what we're expecting for the calculation. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened. Their answer is way off, order of magnitude. So they have 400.00. Significant figures out of control. But for the process, I'm giving 2 points. The last bit is not right either. So the total is 2 out of 10. Excuse me. Swedru Senior High School. They set up the first one correctly. The equation is right, the numbers are fine. They decided to use Kelvin because they have a Kelvin at their table, so they must work everything in Kelvin. Unfortunately, the final answer is not right, and so they lose a point there. All right. The second one is incorrect. And the third one, again, they set up. Unfortunately, I have to give them a loss of points in the final answer, right? Oh, yeah, so it's actually 3 out of 3 for the final answer. So that gives them a total of 6 out of 10. Presbyterian Boys Secondary School. First part, right, as expected. Numbers are fine. So that's 4 points. The second part. Gentlemen, do you know what I'm doing there? The second part. Your answer is 40.0. How many significant figures?
And there were 3 significant.
Because of the 100 in there. How many significant figures is 100?
1, 2, or 3.
Also in Joule.
Yes.
Also in Joule. Okay, so I'm going to deduct 1 point from there.
Madam,
So you have 2 out of 3 for that part, and then the last part is fine. So that's 3 out of 3. This gives you 9 out of 10. That's the end of the problem of the day and the end of round 3. Round 4. In this round, I'm going to be presenting you with statements. When you receive a statement, please consider the statement very carefully and let me know whether it's true or false. If you are right, 2 points. If you are incorrect, you lose a precious point. You may choose not to respond, in which case that statement becomes available to the 2 other schools. If a school ranks and answers correctly, 2 full points. If not, there's that penalty, 1 point. All the best, everyone. I'm going to start it with a preamble, but then I will come to you, Presbyterian boys, with the first statement after the preamble. All right? Good. So, preamble to all schools. Consider 2 simultaneous linear equations in x and y. That's the preamble. Did you get the preamble? One more time. Consider 2 simultaneous linear equations in x and y. Now, Presbyterian boys, the equations have at most 1 solution.
True.
No, it's a false statement. Kindly let me know who is going to respond so I can call on you. All right. Techiman, with the same preamble, the equations have at least 1 solution. Yes, Ifa.
True.
Pardon?
It's true.
No, it's a false statement. Swedru, with the same preamble, the equations may have an infinite number of solutions. Yes, Kafui.
True.
Yes. The slope of the velocity time graph equals acceleration. Deborah?
True.
Yes. The slope of the force time graph equals linear momentum. Ifa?
It's false.
Yes. The slope of the momentum time graph equals impulse. Yes, Kafui?
False.
Yes. Natural proteins are neutral polymers. Deborah?
True.
Oh no, that's a false statement. Techiman, The maltose molecule is formed by an addition reaction between two glucose molecules. Samuel?
It's a false statement. It's false.
Is
False.
yes. The monomers of nucleic acids are nucleotides. Yes, Kafui?
True.
Yes. Closed circuitry systems are usually seen in invertebrate animals. Otumfo?
False.
Yes. Closed circuitry systems allow blood to flow in one direction. Samuel?
It's false.
No, that's a true statement. Most vertebrates and some invertebrates have a closed circulatory system. Yes, Calvin?
True.
Yes. If a triangle has 4 sides, then the sum of its interior angles is 400 degrees. Otumfo?
True.
Yes. If 2 times 3 is equal to 8, then 8 divided by 3 is equal to 5. Yes,
It's
if
true. True.
yes.
You're still on the Joy News channel. Unfortunately, we have to take off the National Science and Maths quiz to make way for the 7th Ghana Mining Industry Awards. But don't you worry, the National Science and Maths quiz continues on our Facebook page, and that is Joy News on TV. So far, leading is Presec Legon with 57 points. Coming in second is Swedru SHS with 36 points and Techiman SHS with 24 points. The 2021 National Science and Maths quiz is produced by Primetime Limited and sponsored by the Ghana Education Service in partnership with APSA, bringing your possibilities to life. That's Africanacity, that's APSA. Broadcast of the National Science and Maths quiz on Joy News is supported by Cowbell, our milk high in protein and vitamins. Papa's Pizza, taste it, love it. Ace Medical Insurance, the new face of health financing. Tampico, simply irresistible. DBS Industries Limited, we truly are your roof experts. You listen, love learning. Kings Group Limited, set a standard. Dole Yogurt, more, I need more. And Smarts App, child security, parent convenience. Now I'll take you to the 7th Ghana Mining Awards.
Being a key player to help enhance sustainable development through the activities of its members. Our raison d'etre is to represent the mining industry in Ghana, using resources and capabilities of our members to provide services that address the needs of our members, government, host communities, in order to enhance sustainable development. Today, we celebrate, acknowledge, award remarkable achievers shaping the mining industry on the values of honesty, transparency, good governance, commitment, unity, and good corporate citizenship. I would like to